many thanks for joining us. This is QTV News and I am Mumudu Gajaga. We are coming to you live from our studios along Caraba Avenue. Thank you for joining us. First, here are the main local and international news headlines. Dr. Aissatou Touré, the Vice President, on Tuesday presided over a two-day National Social Protection Forum which seeks to devise more innovative practices for a national social protection system. A $1 million Challenge Fund for women entrepreneurs was launched on Tuesday by the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry with support from the International Trade Center. The National Association for Animal Production was recently launched to promote livestock production and build competencies in sustainable livestock services. In international news, World Teachers' Day is held annually on October 5th to celebrate all teachers around the globe. Also in international news, Mark Zuckerberg, founder of Facebook, has apologized for the disruption caused on Monday after its social media services went down for almost 6 hours. Those were the main news headlines, and now the news in detail. Welcome and thank you for joining us wherever you are watching us and listening to us from around the globe. Dr. Aissatou Touré, the Vice President, on Tuesday presided over a two-day National Social Protection Forum which seeks to share national and regional experiences to devise more innovative practices and approaches for a national social protection system. Mongulamin Choi has the details.
The forum brought together government and development partners including UNICEF and the World Food Programme. The governor of the West Coast region delivered the welcome address and thanked partners and the Gambia government for supporting and providing national social protection for vulnerable people during difficult times. The National Social Protection 2015-2020 policy has developed a mechanism for preventive, protective and transformation effort by government to build resilience against socio-economic shocks impacting vulnerable groups. The coordinator of the National Social Protection Secretariat, Alai Bara, sets out the challenges faced by the NSPS, among which are financing, coordination and the pandemic.
Through harmonization of our programs, through collaborative efforts, we'll be able to bring efficiency, reduce the cost of delivery of social protection program, and increase either coverage or direct benefits. And this is what the Social Protection Secretariat is looking forward to.
With support from UN partners, the Gambia developed the 2015-2025 National Social Protection Policy, the first of its kind in the Gambia. The UN Resident Coordinator, Sarafin Wakana, comments government's response to socio-economic shocks caused by the pandemic and climate change. The UN Resident Coordinator expresses the United Nations' continuing commitment and support to the Gambia to realize its social protection goals.
As you are aware, we all have less than 10 years left to measure our achievements toward the global goals by the 2030 deadline, and the time is of the essence. The United Nations remains committed to support the government and the people of the Gambia in their efforts to transform the Gambia to a state that provides robust social protection services to her population.
In 2020, the Gambia registered what appears to be the biggest social safety net program, when 84% of the population were provided with basic food items as a response to economic shocks caused by the coronavirus pandemic. Also, this year, 15% of the population from the most vulnerable have benefited from similar relief assistance. This event is organized with support from the Office of the Vice President, Dr. Aissatou Touré.
My government acknowledges that the social protection system requires modernization and expansion in order to provide a more reliable and effective protection from multifaceted shocks and to build people's resilience to adversity and hardship. Therefore, accelerated coordination mechanism and implementation reforms are quite needed.
According to the World Bank, social protection systems help individuals and families, especially the poor and vulnerable, cope with crises and shocks, find jobs, improve productivity, invest in the health and education of their children, and protect the aging population. Mahmoud Lamin Choi, QTV News.
A $1 million challenge fund for women entrepreneurs was launched on Tuesday by the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry with support from the International Trade Center. Among other things, the challenge fund seeks to address problems of access to markets, transportation and distribution for women entrepreneurs. Loli M. Camara attended and now reports.
As the coronavirus continues to pose a global threat, lives and livelihoods are affected, including businesses. The Challenge Fund for Women Entrepreneurs will help to address access to markets, transportation and distribution, agro-processing, storage facilities and climate-smart ventures. Women in business will be challenged to create new business ideas with innovative and locally made solutions to improve their businesses. Babukar Saho, Acting Executive Officer with the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, says the Chamber is aware of the daily struggle women entrepreneurs face in maintaining their businesses during the pandemic and the size of the fund.
It's just $1 million to be shared at the end of the day, probably amongst 3 winners. As small as it may seem, but we do believe that for most of the small and medium enterprises, women-owned, who will be applying, this sum would go a long way in terms of addressing some of the capacity gaps that they have.
Sarata Konate, Acting Chief Executive Officer with the GCCI, says they are motivated to look for new ways to help women in business. She added that women should use the opportunities available to them.
When you also hear of a challenge or an opportunity for women, it doesn't always have to be specifically to women. Please always bear in mind that it can always also be a window. It doesn't always end to a complete match, always. But it can lead to your better understanding of your markets. It can lead to your engagements and giving us clear feedback.
The Senior Business Development Officer at GCCI, Olimatuddin Sar, explained the application process.
There's a simple application form wherein whosoever that is applied needs to point out what is being proposed, the solution, and basically pitch a 2 minutes video of the idea. So at the end of the whole process, there will be a committee, a jury, that will determine the winners, the 10 finalists, and upon which there will be an interview, further interview of the finalists, and the winners will be declared. Yes, for the 80% rural women, we will be working with the regional governors. In fact, we've started communicating with them for NBR, URR, CRR, and West Coast.
Abibatu Bachili Tamba, a businesswoman, highlighted the importance of having the challenge fund.
Lu mel ni lii soxla nañ ko ci suma youth si ak ñun ñi jigéen ñi understand na te su amee ndimbal la ci areas yu bari.
Initiatives like this challenge fund are needed in the country. It will help young people and women to do more in their various businesses. So I call on women and young people to take the challenge seriously and participate. The challenge fund is now open and women entrepreneurs are encouraged to apply. According to the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, winners of this challenge will receive capital to implement the solutions, technical assistance, capacity building training, and experts will provide coaching and mentorship. For QTV News, Loli M. Kamara.
Livestock production is an important component of agriculture. The National Association for Animal Production was launched on Thursday to promote livestock production and build competencies in sustainable livestock services in the Gambia. Abibatu Sise has more.
Livestock production contributes immensely to supporting livelihoods by generating income for farmers. The National Association for Animal Production was registered last year to improve animal health and nutrition, to enhance livestock, food production, and income security. Modu Sar, the president of the National Association for Animal Production, says the association consists of animal scientists and veterinarians from the private and the public sectors to foster knowledge and improve livestock production and productivity.
And is poised to working with our twin partner in animal improvement discipline, the Gambia Veterinary Council or the Gambia Veterinary Association, and with NALOA, the apex body for livestock producers, to provide the much needed skills, innovation, and knowledge to promote animal production in the Gambia. The NAFT will forge partnership also with the Continental All Africa Association for Animal Production and the World Association of Animal Production to foster knowledge, skills, and technology sharing.
Demba Jallo, representing the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture, says livestock production is an essential part of agriculture and the ministry is committed to improving the sector.
Under the new dispensation, is committed to increasing domestic production through formulation and implementation of policies and the programs to meet national demand in animal and animal products. The initiative to create NAP to complement government is welcome as it is in line with the public-private partnership framework as enshrined in the National Development Plan.
The National Livestock Owners Association is responsible for all livestock dealers in the country, and Ibrahima Ojalo, the association's president, says despite the sector's significance, it faces numerous challenges. However, he expressed the hope that the new association will help alleviate those challenges.
I believe it is very important. The people working, sometimes you retire but not tired. And most of the people retiring in this country, Mr. Chairperson, they are not tired. They are willing and they have the zeal to do the work. And the farmers also need your collaboration, they need your support. So forming this association, Mr. Chairperson, will help the government of the Gambia, will help the farmers in this country, and will help also the animals themselves, because the experience is very important.
The new association will complement actors such as the National Agricultural Research Institute, NARI, the National Veterinary Council, agricultural trainers, extension officers, farmers, processors, livestock traders, and other market agents to enhance livestock production and sustainability in the Gambia. For QTV News, I am Abibatu Sise.
That report by Abibatu Sise will take us to the commercial break, and when we return, we'll have some more local and international news stories. Do stay tuned.
Q Money, the biggest mobile money service in the Gambia, has taken mobile banking to the next level. Now, you can link your Q Money wallet with your bank account. Yes, link your Ajib or EcoBank accounts with your Q Money wallet and get instant access to your cash anytime. No need to queue at the bank anymore. Transfer funds from your bank account to your wallet or your wallet to your bank account using Q Money Bank Link is the fastest, most secure, and convenient way to transfer funds between your wallet and bank account. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunyu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
The best product in town is back. QCell's MiFi router. Get the best MiFi in the country for just $2,800 and connect up to 15 users with 4G internet speeds and a long-lasting battery life. So rush now to any of our customer care locations and get the best for less while stocks last. For more info, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Boss, the Gambia's quality network. We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back, and thank you very much if you're just joining us. This is QTV News. The Commission on Political Debates, in partnership with the National Youth Council through the support of the UNDP, on Tuesday commenced the two-day training for youth representatives of various political parties on governance, addressing hate speech and decision-making processes, as well as violence prevention. Yahya Jao reports.
The training is to ensure peaceful democratic processes, enhance youth political participation, and conflict prevention strategies for young politicians ahead of the December 4, 2021 presidential election. It is also to prepare youth leaders of political parties on their responsibilities by enhancing their ability to peacefully advocate youth-friendly policies and programs through constructive debate and dialogue. At the event, Hannah Foster, the board chairperson of the CPD, says the training is timely and important as youth play a vital role in the country's sustainable development. She added that over the years, youth have been used to nurture negative sentiments in their own country and fuel violence during elections. She therefore highlighted the importance of this training.
This particular training has been put together, bringing together youth that are in political parties, and for them to be trained on how they can peacefully lead through debates a peaceful and governable Gambia. So we found out that it was important to bring them together.
Raymond Esebagbon, country director of the National Democratic Institute, says his office is committed to support and engage young people in the democratic process to ensure that there are peaceful elections in the country.
Some of the work that we are doing here in the Gambia to support Gambia's democracy, which include working with young people to observe the election process, to promote political dialogue, including debate. We intend to bring stakeholders together, expertise, and international network of supporters.
The UNDP country representative Aissata Day says youth are expected to contribute meaningfully to national development and take the lead in trying to save the future of this country, as they constitute more than 60% of the population.
This training is aimed to really bringing you together, but also to have the space to show you how you can interact, saying things that are positive, lifting each other up, especially the young women and girls who are in the political space. Don't think that you are alone. You can have your neighbor, your sister, but you can reach out also to your brothers. Think forward. Where do you want the Gambia to be in 10 years?
The December presidential election looms. It is hoped that this training will build the capacities of youth and enhance their participation in the upcoming elections in a peaceful manner. Reporting for QTV News, I am Yahya Jao.
That report by Yahya Jao will now take us to the international news. World Teachers' Day is held annually on the 5th of October to celebrate all teachers around the globe. The theme for this year, Teachers at the Heart of Education Recovery, aims to recognize the tireless efforts of teachers to keep lessons going and ensure minimal disruption to pupils' learning over the course of the pandemic.
Thank you, teachers, for helping me learn and being my friend.
Thank you for being there when I need you.
Thank you for sticking by our students through thick and thin.
World Teachers' Day commemorates the anniversary of the adoption of the 1996 ILO UNESCO recommendation concerning the status of teachers. The day highlights the rights and responsibilities of teachers and standards for their initial preparation and further education, recruitment, employment, and teaching and learning conditions. World Teachers' Day has been celebrated since 1994. It has been over a year since the COVID-19 shook the world and disrupted education. In this respect, this year's commemoration focuses on the support teachers need to fully contribute to the recovery process. A 5-day series of global and regional events will showcase the effect the pandemic has had on the teaching profession, highlight effective and promising policy responses, and aims to establish the steps needed to ensure teaching personnel develop their full potential. A joint message from UNESCO, International Labour Organization, UNICEF, and Education International states, on World Teachers' Day, we are not only celebrating every teacher, we are calling on countries to invest in them and prioritize them in global education recovery efforts so that every learner has access to qualified and supported teacher. Let's stand for our teachers. End of quote. Teachers play significant parts of our lives. An unknown author once wrote, "A truly special teacher is very wise and sees tomorrow in every child's eyes." On this day, we wish all teachers a happy Teachers' Day. Ajibintu Drame, QTV News.
Well, happy Teachers' Day. We are all proud of our teachers, especially back in the days when we were at school. Now, still on international news, Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, the popular social media platform, has apologized for the disruption caused on Monday after its social media services went down for almost 6 hours, impacting more than 3.5 billion users around the world. Alucise reports.
The billionaire said sorry via a video message after an internal technical issue
took Facebook, Messenger, WhatsApp, and Instagram offline at about 1600 hours GMT on Monday. The scramble to bring it back online eventually succeeded at around 2200 hours GMT. But it is likely to increase scrutiny of the social media giant's reach. For us, potentially billions of people found themselves without the social media tools they relied upon to keep in touch with friends and family. Others reportedly found they could not access services which required a Facebook login. Meanwhile, small businesses around the world which use social media to connect with customers were faced with the prospect of an unexpected financial hit. Mr. Zuckerberg himself was thought to have lost an estimated $6 billion equivalent to 4.4 billion pounds from his personal fortune at one point as Facebook shares plummeted, according to business website Fortune's tracking software. Down Detector, which tracks outages, said some 10.6 million problems were reported around the world, the largest number it had ever recorded. Facebook later said it had been brought offline by a faulty configuration change which not only impacted the websites and apps but also affected the company's internal tools. Those tools included Facebook's internal email and even employee workplaces. Some reports suggest that Facebook headquarters was in meltdown. Even the people trying to figure out what this problem was couldn't access the building, New York Times technology reporter Sarah Frankel told the BBC. The New York Times reports that the problem was eventually resolved after a group managed to get into a California data center and reset the servers. The company has not confirmed this. Facebook said it is working to understand what happened so it can make its infrastructure more resilient. Tech experts have described the issue as being akin to the social media giant falling off the internet's map, so it could not be found. The company said there was no evidence that user data was compromised. The outage comes at a particularly difficult time for the company, which is finding itself increasingly under pressure over its reach and impact on society. A former senior executive turned whistleblower, Frances Hogan, 37, who worked as a product manager on the civic integrity team at Facebook, revealed her previously hidden identity after a series of leaks. She said the documents she leaked proved that Facebook repeatedly prioritized growth over safety. Earlier this year, WhatsApp announced that from the 1st of November 2021, millions of people around the world will no longer have access to WhatsApp, the Facebook-owned messenger apps that boast about 2 billion users. The company announced that over 50 phones it will no longer support, notably including some iPhones and Android smartphones. Those affected will not be able to access messages, photos, and videos unless they upgrade to latest operating systems or buy a new phone. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cissé.
Well, who lived through this moment? It was 6 hours of frustration. Maybe you can say your experience. Well, before we end this news bulletin, let's have a recap of our main news headlines. Dr. Aissatou Touré, the Vice President, on Tuesday presided over a two-day National Social Protection Forum which seeks to devise more innovative practices for a national social protection system. A $1 million challenge fund for women entrepreneurs was launched on Tuesday by the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry with support from the International Trade Center. The National Association for Animal Production was recently launched to promote livestock production and build competencies in sustainable livestock services. In international news, World Teachers' Day is held annually on the 5th of October to celebrate all teachers around the globe. Also in international news, Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, has apologized for the disruption caused on Monday after its social media services went down for almost 6 hours. Well, that's all in the news for tonight. Thank you very much for watching, but don't forget to join us at 10 for another bulletin.